politically connected companies, I'm certain that we do have certain regulators in place. Like in terms of regulators, we have the SC, the Securities Commission, we have the SSM, we have the Bursa Malaysian listing requirements, we have the Malaysian Corporate Governance Code, we have the Companies Act to kind of balance the thing that is passed on the board, because these are all public listed companies. So when you talk about all this, we do have a very strong regulation, especially the Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance, even on the diversity of the board. We do have a board balance, we have a board composition, we have a nomination committee, we have an audit committee. So when you talk about all this and place, and we have regulators, how can it be such a free for all kind of thing? I'm a little bit disturbed by the findings, because I don't know whether these are really something that has basis. But I also look at it as if it's quite long. It's until 2009 findings. So where does the regulators go? If public listed companies are free to do what they want to do with all this code of corporate governance in place, I'm a bit worried, okay? So that's one part of the comment. Now, with regards Petronas, who bidded in Ottawa, Canada was not actually the main board. It is a subsidiary. Even despite that, there is no lobbying concern or involved here, because at the end of the day, the Canadian came back to the Malaysian company and said, look, you are lacking independent board members, and they want them to add more independent board members. So you see, even in the latest development, you see the Malaysian Code of Corporate Governance working there. All the requirements and the principles within the code is actually dictated even by the Canadian counterparts.
Okay. Can I respond to that?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. The interesting thing about our data is that you're most welcome to get all the data from us and rerun it. This is the nice thing about scientific evidence. It is there. Whereas if it's some kind of an experiment using 20, 30 people, it's very difficult to replicate it. But here, the data is available. So you can take it, it's documented, the years, and even the firms, we are happy to give it to you. And you run your own regression and do it the way we've done it and see if you get the results. So that's my response. We are scientists, we keep an open mind. We look at the data. We ourselves are having problems because we see that in some cases it leads to lower cost of capital, which is good. Firm value goes up for politically connected firms, which is good. Then we have this cost of debt, and it seems that it is possible that there are other explanations, and not on the surface where you say you're politically connected and therefore you're being charged higher debt, higher cost of debt. It could be any one of these reasons. So it actually cries out for more research and more understanding. And you have regulations. Sometimes these regulations are there, but you look at whether the spirit of the regulations are being implemented. I have considerable experience in Hong Kong. Hong Kong has more sophisticated corporate governance regulations. Their investor protection since 2000 has been extremely good, and they still have quite a lot of problems in implementing corporate governance, particularly independence of the board, and so on and so forth. So I think that the points you've raised is well taken, but what it's suggesting is that we need to look at this data a bit more closely. We need to understand, and it's not as straightforward. That article about Petronas was in yesterday's newspaper. Because I was talking about lobbying, so I just put it up there and said that clearly there are interests, even local interests in lobbying. But I don't have other data in Malaysia on lobbying. I hope I've answered your question.
On behalf of the school, I wish to thank Professor Gould for sharing his invaluable knowledge and experience with us this evening. Could we have a round of applause for Professor Gould? With that, I wish to echo Prof. Christina's sentiments. We are indeed extremely proud of you, Prof. Congratulations on your achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've had an engaging evening. On behalf of Monash University Sunway Campus, we wish to sincerely thank you for coming today and wishing you a pleasant evening. We also wish to cordially invite you to join us for dinner. Bon appetit.